All right, welcome back everybody to the Camper Report Show. And my guest this morning is Tony Diamond. And Tony, you are the US distributor for a brilliant motorhome line in Italy. And I've seen it before at Caravan Salon. It's an outstanding product. Tell us first who you are, what you do, and then let's talk about your favorite project right now.
You got it. My name is Tony Diamond, like you mentioned. My partner and I are the exclusive North American distributor for Wingamm. Wingamm is a family-owned company that has been producing, in our opinion, the most compact, luxurious, and technologically advanced motorhomes in the world. They're sold throughout 15 countries, and now we are launching in the US. Deliveries have begun to customers, and we are very excited.
That it's been a while coming and very deservedly so. I mean, this is a motorhome that should be sold in America. And anybody who's ever gone to Europe or has rented an RV in Europe or has had a chance to travel in one, first of all, they understand they're small, they're compact, they're fuel efficient, and they lead the world really in the technology. This tell us a little bit more about your company and you are the U.S. distributor. So if that unit gets sold in the United States, it's getting sold through you and Michael. So how does it work?
So, our technical title is exclusive distributor, but really we've been tasked with building out the North American operation. Um, it's a sort of a long story of how it evolved from us originally getting in touch with Wingham. My partner and I flew out to Italy. We discovered Wingham one night on a YouTube video. We were blown away. We went out and met with the CEO, and sort of forward a couple of years later, or a year later, about the CEO had asked us to introduce her to dealers in the US. And we said to her, why would you want to put Wingham on a lot with the US motorhomes? It's like you don't see Ferrari sold next to Oldsmobiles. I said, certainly dealers would love to have a Wingham on their lot. It's gonna elevate all of their models and elevate their dealership, but it's gonna, in our opinion, respectfully, it's going to devalue Wingham because you are the Ferrari of motorhomes. And so we picture this vision of sort of taking the existing U.S. sales marketing dealership model and improving on it. And so if you think about the existing dealership model, it's large sort of parking lots that are not close to the city center. When you show up, you're greeted by an aggressive commission salesperson, which most people don't find to be a very pleasant experience. And these commission salespeople, because the traditional dealership model is selling a lot of uh, models by many different brands, these commission salespeople are sort of knowledgeable about everything, but they're not experts in anything. And then the dealerships themselves, are sort of large, impersonal experiences. And so that's the existing dealership model. And what we pitched the CEO of Wingham and sort of the Wingham way is now going to be when you show up to a Wingham dealership, it is a Wingham dealership, it's a franchise dealership. So you're greeted by first a product specialist, not a commission salesperson. We only sell Wingham. And then our locations are in the city center. So you're not driving way out into the middle of nowhere. And instead of big, sort of personality-less parking lots, you've got these sort of Apple store feeling, boutique stylish showrooms. And so we're really trying to not just, bring a product to America that we know is best in class, but improve on the sales and marketing model as well.
Well, I think number one, I think it's a brilliant strategy. It's one that many other companies have used on an exclusive type of product or a product that deserves to be a standalone environment, whether it be a Tesla or an Apple or whatever. That's obviously the crowd that you're going to be going after. That's the type of person that's going to be interested in this particular motorhome because this is an extremely well-built unit. Explain the construction. It's a unique construction that we don't see here. I think there's only one other company that uses something similar to that kind of construction.
That's right. Okay, so the for all of the U.S. Manufacturers, they all make their Class B compact motorhomes the same way, right? So they take an existing cargo van, a Ram ProMaster, Ford Transit, Mercedes Sprinter, and they all build the best compact motorhome they can inside that existing cargo van. So these are basically Amazon delivery vans, and all they're really doing is just shuffling around the furniture inside that existing cargo van. And so what Wingamm does that's really a needle mover is they don't they don't start with a cargo van. They start with a chassis cab. And what they do is they attach to the back of that chassis cab their custom fiberglass living module. And so that innovation allows them to first, and what I think is sort of is most important is it allows them to put their bed in the ceiling. The bed is recessed in the ceiling. And so by not having to allocate their floor plan space to their bed because it's in the ceiling, they're able to build their motorhome smaller than any other manufacturer in America, but yet the bathroom, the kitchen, and the dining room are probably twice the size of anything you'll get in Class B motorhomes in America that are even 2, 3, 4 feet longer. And then on top of it, the craftsmanship. I cannot say enough about the craftsmanship. You've seen it. Everybody who was at the Tampa, or sorry, excuse me, the Florida RV Super Show has seen it. People who have come now for test drives have seen it. The craftsmanship is it's what you would expect from a factory in Verona, Italy, versus you know, respectfully, a factory in Elkhart, Indiana. And so the materials and how it's all put together is just it is it is so well done.
It is. When you first see it, I guess stunning is probably a good word for it because you stopped
See,
in
Bob.
your tracks.
Bob, I mean, thank you.
Yeah, I mean you literally stopped. I mean, I've been in covering this business now for 29 years, but you stop in your tracks to look at the creativity and the engineering and the size. I mean, this is something literally that is the size of your SUV and it can go everywhere and do everything. So let's talk about the marketing and the sales program.
Sure.
You've delivered units to customers now. I'm sure they're elated. What's the game plan and where might people see a unit or talk to your people?
So I'm gonna sort of I'm gonna answer that question, but in a little bit of a roundabout way.
That's
Um,
fine.
because you touched upon it's the size of an SUV. You touched upon sort of the Tesla model and how we're doing things a little bit differently. And certainly the product it's intuitive to anybody who wants to buy a compact RV, right? It's obvious that it's best in class. There's nothing that really competes with it. But we think there's a much bigger addressable market for a Wingamm, specifically a Wingamm Oasi 540.1, which is 10 inches longer than a Honda Odyssey minivan. We think that a lot of people will see these as either an alternative or an addition to their luxury SUV because it's so small. You can use it day to day, and you can use it for use cases like the family is going to go on a Saturday. They've got their kids softball game in the morning. They've got the other kids baseball game in the afternoon. They got grandma's dinner in the afternoon in the evening. Excuse me. And so we think that because Wingamm looks so good, you'll be proud to pull up to your kids' uh, softball game and soccer game. And because it's so small, people will, instead of buying, say, a Range Rover, they'll buy a Wingamm Oasi 540 because you can also, while one kid's doing their soccer game, the other kid can be sleeping or doing their homework, and vice versa when the other kid's doing their game. And then instead of having to go home and shower before you go to grandma's, you can do all that inside your Wingamm Oasi 540.1. And so we just think there's a much larger addressable market.
I would not argue against that. I think you're right. And when I do seminars and we talk about that category of motorhome, the Class B, the camper van type thing, that's exactly the argument that I use for it. That if you're getting ready to buy a second car, make your second car an RV. And I can see a lot of people doing that, even if they own a big fifth wheel or a towable trailer, just having this to go around town and the kids, a weekend vacation, a getaway, incredible. So somebody looks at this, they don't know Tony Diamond, they don't know Wingham.
Yeah.
Take them through the first step. Let's pretend I just got there and I just saw this unit and I say, wow,
Yes, yes.
how
So
do
I didn't answer your question first. I'll answer it this time. So,
I?
my bad. I apologize. So the first step is to contact Wingamm USA. That's our company. We are going to walk them through all of their questions, the brochure, and then if they decide they want to move forward, we will then introduce them to one of our dealers. Our dealers are more there to handle their purchase orders, their deposits, and then the delivery of their motor.
Okay, the only thing I would say there then is why would you call it dealers and not product specialist?
Well, they're dealerships. And to add one more thing too, that's where all the test drives happen. So our test drives happen at our dealerships. That's where you'll complete your paperwork, you'll fill in your deposit, and when you go to pick up your motorhome when it's delivered from Italy, that's where you'll pick it up at one of our dealerships.
And have any of these been established yet, or are you still in the process of setting those up?
So we have one dealership in Salt Lake City, another one in Nashville, Tennessee, and more to come.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Tony, I am still amazed at this unit. I'm so delighted to see it now available in production, shipping from Italy to here, getting it out
Thank
on
you.
the streets of the United States. Any other plans to showcase the unit in any of these consumer shows? The big ones obviously are Florida and Hershey, but where else might people see it in the public square?
Thank you. We do have plans to go to a lot more RV shows. We are planning a road show sort of on both the East Coast and the West Coast in a couple months. We're going to be taking the 540s, um, um, sort of starting in Southern California up to Seattle, and then sort of starting in Southern Florida all the way up to Boston and then to the Midwest. Because we have so many people who want to see them, so we wanted to get them out there and make sure that everyone can see and test drive a 540.1. We also, and this sort of again talks about our way of reaching this larger addressable market, are going to start to open up our first showrooms in high-end malls around the U.S. The first one will most likely be in Nashville, and this is again not just a sort of a pleasant and accessible way for people to come and see a 540.1 because malls tend to be in city centers, so it's very easy to get to them. But this is also our way to expose the 540.1 to a lot of people who otherwise wouldn't think I might want this tiny micro European RV in lieu of my Escalator Range Rover.
Well, and there are a lot of upscale malls or shopping environments where you're going to be hitting the same prospect in a different place. To your point, they probably didn't think of buying a motorhome. That's the exciting part about it.
That's right.
All
Thank you.
right, website, telephone, where just
Sure.
Wingham USA.
Wingham.com. Our email is us@wingham.com. Phone number is 310-963-9516.
Tony, I wish you the best of luck. I'm going to stay in touch with you because I want to see I want to see it again in person because the first one I saw was the last generation. This is a new generation, correct?
Yes, thank you, Bob. We look forward to showing it to you.
All right, take care.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.